back to Crimson Glass on YouTube. This is April 1st, day one of Camp NaNoWriMo. My name is Melissa, aka Lissy Love, and I write General Hospital fan fiction. So if you came to this video by just looking through Camp NaNoWriMo hashtags, if you don't want to hear a lot about General Hospital fan fiction for the next 30 days, I would just keep on walking by. So I write General Hospital fan fiction. I write novels. My longest novel, I think, is 156,000 words. The book I'm currently working on will probably be longer. And I've been writing since 2002, since I was about 18 years old. This is what I do for fun. What I do for fun. In real life, outside of these four walls of my office, I am a teacher. It is April in 2020, which means I am a teacher who is working from home. I am remote teaching. I have taught financial literacy. That was the first marking period. The last two marking periods, I've been doing ELA and science. And starting Friday, I will be teaching Spanish. So this is the life of a certified K-12 social studies teacher when there's not a social studies position available. It's cool. I've been having a lot of fun, and I love all of my students. So I get to stay in the middle school and hang out with my sixth graders, so it's fine. So what can you expect over the next 30 days? So today's introduction, I'm going to check in again later. So this is before writing. So this is, hi, here's my project, and here's what I hope to do today. And then later we're gonna come in and say, here's what I actually got done. And then going forward, I'll just be checking in after I've actually done the writing. So I am going to be working on the third book in a trilogy. I have been working on this book off and on for the last 5 years. I started drafting it in 2016 for July Camp NaNoWriMo. So Camp NaNoWriMo is, if you're not already familiar with it, is different from regular NaNoWriMo in November. In November, you just set a goal for 50,000 words and then you hit it. I generally do work in, I've been trying the November one the last couple years. I have mixed success just because of my schedule. July, I've always been better because I don't sub during the summer, I don't teach during the summer, and I don't go to school during the summer. So like I have a lot more time. I only had one part-time job during the summer. And then April, I've never tried because by April, it's the whole year. I have no time. I've worked two part-time jobs up until now. I was a grad student last year. I had orals last year. April's just never been in the cards. This year, I am teaching, and not that teaching's not hard, and not that I don't have a lot of time on my, I have a lot of time on my hands from teaching. But, you know, teaching is less hard than grad school work and two part-time jobs, one of which is substituting. So I do have more time to try April. It's my first time trying it, and this is the first year I've had a YouTube channel, so I am creating content. So what am I writing this year? I am, as I said, finishing up the trilogy for Mad World. I've been working on the story for a long time. This is where we finally finish off the Rick storyline that I introduced in book one. This is where we close up some loopholes and find some closure for some characters we talked about in book two. We'll be getting into all of that as I get further in. Book three has been really hard to figure out how to write because I have so many characters. Book one started very, very focused and very, very narrowly focused on PCPD and the Carly and Rick panic room storyline. And then book two opened up with the serial rapists and the political stuff and the teens and, you know, all that stuff coming in. So it's been complicated. And book three is kind of all the supporting characters are breathing on their own and doing their own thing. And that's been something to juggle. So we'll be talking about how hard that has been to just outline and put into order because it's so many things I know have to happen and know I want to happen. How do I make that work in some sort of narrative function that is enjoyable to read and can be written? One of those things. So that is Camp NaNoWriMo. That is the plan. Today's plan, prologue, has been planned. I had hoped to do a way lot more of my pre-production. Generally, I like to have a full outline, a full chapter breakdown, and a full soundtrack before I start writing. That almost never happens. It's like I have a dream. I have a beautiful dream. It's probably never going to happen. I started the discovery draft of Mad World in January, and then January was a cluster, you know what, and February was great, but February was great because For the Broken Girl, my last novel, was going really, really well. I wrote 78,000 words in like 22 days, and I was doing that while teaching the most annoying sixth graders on earth, right? I say that with love because I love them all, and every day I would go home and write 4,000 words of a book, and I don't know how I did it. And then March I got sick, and then March the world shut down, and I had to learn how to remote teach. So I still had to finish that draft because that draft is due for publication in May, so like that had to happen. And so it's happened. I finished it on Saturday, and then I spent the last couple of days recharging, figuring out how I'm going to teach Spanish starting Friday. Just in general, trying to get myself together. So I have about 5 or 6 chapters outlined. I'm going to kind of like, it's like a train coming down the tracks. You're going to furiously lay the tracks as you keep going. And that's my plan for the next couple days, is to kind of like sketch out the end of it based on how the story's going. I always kind of stop in the middle and reassess and then reassess. And like, that's just something I do as I write. So like, I'm not so sad. I'm mostly sad I don't have a full soundtrack. I like a lot of music when I'm writing. So tonight I'm going to write the prologue, and the prologue is going to start off in February, I think. No, it's going to start off in January 2004. It's going to be a little bit of a time jump. The last time when book 2 ended, we were in November, right after Morgan had been born. Rick had jumped bail, and like all of that was happening. And then we're going to open up with a wedding. Jason and Elizabeth are going to get married in the very first prologue, because we're not going to play around with that, people. Not playing around. And then we're just going to kind of like set the characters, and then we're going to launch into it, chapter 1, which I'm going to start tomorrow. I actually managed to get like almost all of my inciting incidents, like all the the little things that have to happen to propel all of the stories and characters forward within the first 4 chapters. Pretty excited about that. And like the one last final thing is happening in chapter 5. So my act 1 is shaping up. I was kind of having panic about it. Like, can I write this? I DM'd my friend last night, who was my beta. I was like, hey, Ange, I have to write book 3 tomorrow. I don't know how to do it. She's like, what can you write tomorrow? I'm like, I have to write book 3 tomorrow. I promised it. It's like, I have a publication date in September. It's not like I have a choice in this. We gotta write book 3. So I sat down and like 2 hours last night, figured out book 3. So I'm okay now. Like, I came down off. So there's a lot of me managing my anxiety through this, because I am trying to set firmer publication dates for my readers, because, I'm just trying to be, I have a Patreon and people donate money for me to do this. So like, let's pretend I'm a professional author because I don't turn a profit, because like all this goes back into the site. But like, money comes into my bank account for people to read my stories. So let's pretend that they're paying for something. So that is day 1 of Camp NaNoWriMo. When I clock in tomorrow for day 2, I will update you very quickly on what actually happened on the last 2 days. So day 1 is just going to be an introduction, and then day 2 will be a recap of the last 2 days. I am excited to do this. I love writing. I finally feel like I have the job I've always loved. I have the best job. I have the best students, even when they annoy the bejesus out of me. They know who they are. And now I finally have the time and the space. I have a house, I have a cat, and this time with everything that's going on, what you do is you focus on the things that you love, and you focus on the things that make you happy. Because if you only focus on the crazy, which is what's happening in the world right now, you will drive yourself crazy. I am fortunate that nobody I love has the virus yet. And I say yet because I live in a city where the people are sick. So I don't know. I worry about my parents. I worry about my brother and my sister and their kids and my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. My dad is still working. My brother-in-law is still working. They're essential workers. I worry about my students. I worry about their parents. Like, I can't worry about that stuff all the day long. I'll drive myself crazy. So I am choosing this April to focus on the things I can control and focus on the things that make me happy. And one of the things that makes me happy is writing. So I'm very excited to do it, to write. So I am happy that the people on my channel are going to join me for this event. If you are looking for Camp NaNoWriMo content, I guess this is it. I hope I look this put together every day. Today I had a Zoom meeting with my students, so I put on makeup. Generally I wear makeup on the channel because I dye my brows, and y'all don't need to know how pale I really am. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.